please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters, a show we're going to highlight all the buzzing stocks of the day. Also get you some expert advice on how you can capitalize and trade. All that and more in the next half hour. I'm Nigel D'Souza, and with me is Mangalam Malu. Well, Mangalam, red on the screen yet again. Overnight, in fact, the US markets, they ended lower. So when the mother market ends lower, you'll expect us, to follow the trend. I think most Asian markets as well were under some pressure. The Chinese markets, they reopened, Mangalam. So I think that's the only market that's doing a relative outperformance today. Otherwise, it's red on the screen. So in comparison to that, at least we're doing better. But otherwise, we've been rank underperformers, Mangalam. This series itself, it's been one of the worst we have seen in the last 1 decade or so. So not too good. And last night, everything went wrong, I think. India lost that T20 match. I was waiting up. I saw the US markets trading with a gain of 300 points. I woke up this morning. It was down close to around 200 points. And it's been a series really for the Bears. They've been having a good time.
It's been a series for the Bears, Nigel. And why not? Over the last so many series, the Bulls have gone out, said that, we'll win this match, And this time the Bears said, okay, 700 runs, this is ours. That's what we've put on the table. But the last day, that one also, the Bears believe that they can hold on to this, because I'm just looking at a few options. 10,400 mark, that looks like, the Bears have said that belongs to us for sure. 22 lakh shares added out there. The premium's fallen from 30 rupees now to just 7 rupees. And 10,350, the Bears are saying that, well, we gave you 10,400. Let's see whether we can capture Mount 10,350 as well. Out there, there is a good 25 rupees available. 15 lakh shares have been traded on that. In fact, it's 35 rupees of premium have been taken away. Let's see whether 25 rupees also get taken away or not. So we'll keep an eye out on all those things. But I believe we have Ashwani with us. He'll give us a sense on what the chart suggests as far as this expiry is concerned. Ashwani, 700 points on the Nifty, lost this expiry. How do you see today's trading session panning out?
See, overall, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that we are kind of overextended on the downside. And today you had a good cause and, the environment, local and global, where you should have broken down. That you haven't done so, indicates that at lower levels there is short covering. And in case, and often that can happen, this was expected. What did the US Fed say that you didn't know already? What did the Indian central bank say that you didn't know already? So my sense is that we are very primed and positioned for a short covering rally in case Europe kind of moves on from this going up of yields, etc. And this is the time to get long on the market, and finally you'll get rewarded. I think 10,275, 10,300 is a fairly decent support, and one that can hold on for a bit. What we are basically looking for a pullback style rally towards 25,250, 25,300, and on the Nifty maybe 10,500, 550. Let's see whether that happens, but there's no value in being short from here. Having said that, I think Indiabulls housing is showing buying. That's a buy with a stop of 24,000. Is a buy with a stop of 1240, target of 1300. Motilal is a buy with a stop of 1165, target of 1220. And Biocon is a buy with a stop of 588, target of 610.
Okay, Biocon, interesting move. That looks like it's more technical in nature. From yesterday's lows, I think the stock has recovered close to 7 to 8%. Ashwani is saying it's looking good on the charts for a tad bit more as well. Ashwani, before we let you go, wanted to ask you about Titan. It's going to be a nifty company now, in the next couple of months. It's been a good performer. It's come off the high point of the day, though. What would the trade be out there?
Along with Titan, let me say Motherson Sumi, if people wanted to buy it, they think it's a great company. Today is the day to buy Motherson Sumi. We have just bought it for our long-term investors. I think Titan getting into the index, and given that people are not so sure on other jewelry stocks, etc., it should get back towards 950, 970. So again, good time to use this correction to get long on Titan.
All right, interesting comment on Motherson Sumi. Incidentally, the management was on CNBC TV18 just a few moments back, said they don't see any weakness on the sales front and not really worried about the transitional losses. So that stock's recovered about 2.5%, almost 3% from the low point of the day, broken into the green and currently moved into the green at the high point of the day. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But let's move on to the big CNBC TV18 exclusive. Speaking to Shireen Bhan ahead of this year's Chasing Growth annual conference held by Kotak Group, Uday Kotak hinted that there could be further correction in the stock markets, adds that they are always looking for M&A opportunities across the financial services industry. Listen in.
I think we have seen a close to 8 to 10% correction in the big caps and probably a 20 to 30% correction in the small and mid caps. So somewhere in the single digit corrections from here is what I would, in the big caps, is what I would see as getting the markets to a fundamentally more healthy level. Now, whether there's 5%, 10%, I think that's something which would give fundamental corrections. Over the last 3 or 4 years, whenever we would talk about chasing growth, we had a wonderful macroeconomic tailwind in our favor. This time around, as I speak to you, I think micro has picked up. We are seeing growth on the ground, but the macro tailwinds are not as favorable as they were over the last 3 years. We are always open for opportunity, and it's across the financial services industry. We are very focused on creating value for our stakeholders, and we will not rush in to do stupid deals.
All right, before we slip into a short break, just watch out for Dish TV. That one too has moved to the high point of the day. Comes out of the F&O ban on expiry day, so we'll watch out for that stock. Keep an eye out in the markets. Now is Nalco. It is at the high point of today's trading session as we speak, but remember the stock is off about 32% from its 52-week high after a stellar run that we saw over the last 1 year. So to discuss more about the aluminium prices, we have with us Mr. TK Jant, the MD of the company. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chand, for joining in. First up, I'm taking a look at the aluminium prices. They're at $2,175 average price for 2018 so far, which is a near 3-year high. Where do you see them headed going forward?
Yeah, aluminum prices, as you see that in Q3, it was average is around 2,100, and in February month till now, average is around 2,185, and currently it is at 2,239, and mainly because of Chinese New Year, and that smelters are having adequate stock of aluminium, and global market position is also comfortable. Not much of the stress is there for pushing of the aluminium prices, but as we see that there is some increase in the input prices that would give the support to the aluminum prices, and after the Chinese New Year is over, probably the activities will pick up. So we expect that aluminum prices will move between 2150 to 2250. That is the range in which it will be moving. Right now it is 2239, and it may go a little up and down like that. It would be.
Okay, superb. Hi, Mr. Chand. So the $100, the level that you're keeping aluminium prices at, that's 2150 to around 2250.
2250.
Yeah. All right. So, but you were talking about the input cost. I wanted to ask you on that front. What is the caustic soda prices? What was it, sir, in the last quarter? Currently, what are those prices? And also, Coal India has increased prices, right? Will that hurt you?
Yeah. Input price will definitely be a factor, because caustic soda prices last year up to December, if you take the 9-month ending December, it was around 29,000 average. And in this year ending December, the average was around 36,000. That means that is an increase of 17%. And right now in January, the prices are now at 39,000, again 8% increase. So, but we expect that right now with this price, it will slowly now moderate down, and even carbon prices like CP Coke have increased. So while input prices are definitely increasing, and Coal India has also increased its price per ton around 200 rupees, but we expect that it will have an impact on us. But we are in fourth quarter it will be getting moderated, because in alumina we are doing around 13 shipments, whereas in quarter 3 we have done 8 shipments. That will help us. And in quarter 3, we are, due to lack of coal, we had to shut down one of our power unit, and we imported power from state grid, which costed us around 38 crore more. But that expenditure will not be there this time. That will also be helping us. And premium third quarter was going at an average of $80, but right now in the current average of NALCO is $85. So that will also help us. So these factors will be adding up, and
Mr.
we are
Chand,
trying to...
Mr. Chand, let's keep it simple. You have given us quite a few numbers over there. You're telling us that input cost, yes, they have gone up a tad bit. You're saying you're going to save out on that imported coal that you brought in because, you know, you had shut down one of your power units, but that will start. So 30 crores you'll save over there as well. Simple point, sir. Aluminium EBIT, can it turn positive? For the last quarter, it was very, I mean, the EBIT loss was around 90 crores, and last few quarters it has been giving a loss. When can this aluminium EBIT turn positive, sir? Can you reduce the EBIT losses on the aluminium business?
Yeah, if you see the analysis that 90 crore negative in aluminium segment was mainly due to 38 to 40 crore added because of the power purchase. If you deduct that thing, it will be around 30 to 40 crore, which is definitely much less than the last year's same period. And this year, we are expecting that realization from aluminium will be improving, because in quarter 4, the average will be more than the quarter 3, because quarter 3 average of LME was 2100, and right now in February average is 2185. Similarly, premium also, there has been
increase of $5
in the premium. So that there will be some mitigation of the thing. We have to see that how it is moving.
All right, Mr. Chand. So that's as far as your aluminium business is concerned. Now let's talk about alumina. Remember, the price is being around $500 in November. In the second quarter, it corrected to about $337 per ton. Do you think it's bottomed out because it's risen from those levels, 337 to about 400 in February itself? What do you expect out there? And volumes, what kind of volume projections do you have for alumina going forward?
If you see NALCO's global tender average alumina price was 470 in third quarter, because it moved from 402 to as high as 527. And right now NALCO's average tender price is coming around 360. So here one good thing that in quarter 4 is that 2 of the high-priced shipment which could not be lifted in the third quarter, that is $502 per ton and $527 per ton, that have got lifted in quarter 4. In quarter 4, we are making 13 shipments. So we expect that in alumina segment, this will help us. And second thing is that we are also expecting that after this Chinese New Year is over and upbeat activity starts in the market, maybe alumina market will be also so little upbeat.
All right. Very quickly, Mr. Chand, before we let you go, sir, what is the current cash balance that you have? You have paid a dividend of around 4 rupees, 4 rupees 50 paise, I think, in the last week or so. So what is the cash balance? You have some expansion plans. Has any of that started, or is it still on the drawing board?
Already alumina refinery, which we have planned, that is around 1 million tons. That all statutory clearances have come under the contracts have been awarded. So groundbreaking is starting next month. So that will get completed in 3 or 3.5 years. And that will give a substantial benefit to NALCO, because we are expecting a net profit of around 250 to 300 crore from that unit itself.
That's a good
and caustic soda plant, which we have planned it with joint venture with Gujarat Alkali, because caustic soda, as you know, is a very required commodity input, and that also there also land, water, etc. all of we have got, and public hearing is also over, and now packages have been awarded. So we are expecting that within next 24 months that also will be come to commissioning. So These are the some of the other units are also coming are on the pipeline.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Chand, sir. Thank you so much for joining in and giving us all those clarity. All the best for the Q4 as well as the remainder of this year as well. But let's go straight to a CNBC TV18 news break then. Even as Infosys former CFO Rajiv Bansal continues the fight for severance package of close to around 12 crore rupees in arbitration, sources tell us that Infosys has in fact sought a large sum of counterclaims from Bansal. Rukmini Rao joins us with all those details. Rukmini, what is Infosys asking of Bansal in this particular arbitration case?
But even as the former CFO of Infosys, Rajiv Bansal, continues to fight what has been almost a year-long battle to get a part of his severance pay that Infosys had stopped, which is close to about 12 crores. Infosys, on the other hand, what we've learned from sources, has made a counterclaim in this entire matter. In fact, sources have told us that this is a sum of over 100 crores, close to about 135 crores is what we have been given to understand is what Infosys is claiming from Rajiv Bansal in this arbitration matter, mainly because Infosys thinks that there has been some kind of actions of Rajiv Bansal that amounts to breach of trust and also breach of confidentiality that has happened in this entire process, the things that have perspired in the last three odd years or so. In fact, this is going to make this entire arbitration process even more interesting. We'll have to wait and see what the final arbitration award is going to be in this matter. However, Infosys, in fact, went on to say that they didn't want to comment on this story. So we'll just have to see what this arbitration process really goes like in the coming days. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Just keep an eye out on the mid-cap index, up about 100 points from the low point of the day. And a couple
is what we are seeing in the market, so pretty good going over there. But let's focus on the hotel space. We have Royal Orchid, that's the stock on our focus. Remember, they've opened a new resort in Nashik. To understand the details of that particular hotel, we have Mr. Amit Jaiswal, the CFO of the company, who joins in. Hi, Mr. Jaiswal. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. Well, if you could give us a few details of this particular property. Do you own it? Will you be managing it? What kind of money are you getting for the this particular hotel that you perceive? And if you could give us the average rates as well. What is the ARR there?
Yeah, this is a small 32-room property. There's a beautiful property inside a vineyard of 20 acres land, and this property has got some banqueting facilities in the lawns and all those stuff. We are managing this property, and from this property, in around 30-35 lakhs of revenue of management fees, we'll be getting it, which will go straight to our bottom line. And this property will do an ARR of somewhere around 5,500 to 6,000 rupees per room. And it's a very lovely location, and this property definitely is going to do very well.
All right. You expect the property to do fairly well. 5,500 to 6,000 in terms of ARR. 35 lakhs, of course, net profit. The management fee is going to your net profit, of course, Mr. Jaiswal. The 5,500 to 6,000 average revenue per room, how does that compare with your overall ARR? How was that in the third quarter?
It is on the upside only. The overall ARRs of the company is growing now, but all the leisure hotels are doing extremely well, and so this is at par.
What was it in the third quarter? I remember it being around that.
Yeah, third quarter has been very fantastic. Because we had done a growth of almost 82% on the EBITDA and 26% on the revenues part. That was the growth we had shown in the third quarter, and the going is very good going ahead.
Mr. Jaiswal, since you're talking about the EBITDA, I wanted to ask you on a quarterly basis, what kind of an EBITDA number, sir, can we work with? And if you could give us your sense, you're at the helm of the company, so you would be the best analyst on Royal Orchid.
Yes.
What kind of an EBITDA number are you looking at for FY19?
FY19, we are looking at, on the standalone basis, an EBITDA of somewhere around 28 to 30 crores.
Oh,
and on a console basis, we might be touching an EBITDA of almost 50 crores.
EBITDA of 50 crores, so that's 12 crores per quarter on a quarterly run rate, 12.5 crores thereabouts.
Yes.
Oh, okay, fair point. What about your debt? You will be paying off your debt because your finance cost has remained around 4 crore.
Yes, definitely would like to pay off the debt, but that money I want it to, once we flog off some of our assets, as we had told in the earlier interviews also, that we'll be flogging off some of the assets. Once that asset is flogged up, then with that money we are going to clear the debt and get the further bottom line will further.
What is the debt on your books, sir? On a
Right
consolidated
now,
basis?
we are having a debt of around 77 crores on a consolidated basis, and on the standalone, it is 37 crores.
All right. 37 and 70 crores is the debt numbers that you're giving us. But when will these asset sales take place, sir?
Very soon.
We have been talking to you for the last 1 year, 1.5 years, and we have been hearing this. FY19, in that fiscal, sir, can your investors hope that you get rid of these properties? Can you all find a buyer? Can you all, and so what will be your evaluation of this particular, these land parcels that you have? Will it be enough to take care of the entire debt?
It will be much more enough than the entire debt. See, the two land parcels which are there on the card is one is in Powai. It is the commercial has been closed. We are just waiting for the conversion order, which the government is going to get released in the month of March. Okay, the land has been will get converted from hotel project to commercial. We're just waiting for that order. Once that order comes, and then it is through.
So in excess of 100 crores from both Powai and Tanzania?
Powai and Tanzania, both put together, we should be somewhere around 80 to 90 crores we should be getting.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Mr. Jaiswal, for joining in fact, checking in today on Chartbusters.